Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Well, first, let me introduce the most infamous woman on the internet right now. No, I'm just kidding. No, she's not the infamous woman on the internet. However, she is a friend of mine, a friend of many, and this is E's Pop Culture Opinion. Give it up, everybody. Clap, 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 clap.
Ooh, I hope not the most infamous. Nobody wants to be that, especially on these internet streets. Ooh.
Girl, especially these YouTube streets, child.
Right. Yes. I'm happy to be back on See, the thing of it is that I am happy.
And allegedly speaking, of course, everything here is allegedly, right? We may say we, have the tea, or we know this or know that, but just to be certain, allegedly speaking, we'll be strolling through just to remind you listening and watching.
Yes, like Tamra Judge says, it is just my opinion.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
It's my pure speculele, to quote Alexander Rogers, with the information that we have been given. Shout out to Alex and Chris, Pop Roast.
Yes.
We just want to be in the mix.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying we just want to mix, like Chex Mix. We just want to be one of the little flavors that you keep in your hand instead of throwing it back in.
The bowl.
Yes. Bold and zesty. I'm just kidding. I don't know if I want to be zesty. You might not. I don't know. That might require a shower. But anyway. So, since we are not infamously in these streets, we're just simply peeking out our window, like Miss Bonita. Okay. Shout out to back in the day in Living Color. We're peeking out our window.
Okay.
I did bring this up to you, and I actually am curious on your thoughts. Atlanta is experiencing lackluster ratings again because they didn't have wonderful ratings last season. Apparently, like some people are claiming this to be some of their lowest ratings ever. Now, I'll set up the question a little bit. One side is saying with streaming services are the way they are, you can't count on ratings the way that you used to because there's so much availability for the rewatch. However, and I will bring up again, I guess this is just name dropping central, Carlos King brought up the point that the audience is seemingly not engaged enough to want to watch on time, to be in a part of the Twitter conversation or of the immediate word on the curb, talk about what you just saw. So how are you enjoying Atlanta?
Well, what episode is this? 3, 4? I don't know. I like watching it, and I would like to see a difference in how production presents these ladies to us. And it's all just like Destiny said from Love and Marriage Huntsville. I give you content, and she ain't the only one who said it. I'm just using Destiny because she's no longer on the show, which is messed up. That's a whole other can of worms conversation. However, it's up to production and whoever is in charge of the final edit to, give what needs to be gave. Now, these ladies film all sorts of stuff, but they choose not to show it because they think, they meaning production, and I believe they think this, They think that we want to see what they're putting out. And I don't think it's really the fault of the talent, because we all know they film more than what is shown to us. But like I mentioned before, production and those who give the final edit, they want to see certain things. So I think all the blame should be towards the people putting out the product, not necessarily the talent that's making what is happening on the show.
Yeah. Well, I certainly agree with you in the sense that we can't look at, like you said, I mean, they are only filming. They are not cobbling together this story. And the shoemakers are having some trouble.
Hello.
I watched some of Carlos's review on Atlanta, but I don't particularly care for his style of review where, and correct me, he's usually has a YouTuber on that literally does all of the talking and he like comments here and there.
Yeah,
and I'm just not, I need it. Yeah, right. And no offense, I ain't trying to come for the king, the raindrops, whatever. That format, it's not my style. I usually end up jumping ship. I jumped ship on the Love and Marriage review and the Atlanta review, not because I felt like the YouTubers didn't have valid points or good insights. Both of them had some insights that I hadn't really contemplated before, and I was here for. I just don't need to hear, maybe this is something I could say to myself in this moment, but like, I don't need to hear them talk the whole time and Carlos kind of like, oh, I don't have to say certain things because this other person is saying it. And I'm just going to laugh and screech and make faces and do little things. I'm like, no, I want more of a real conversation, because to me, one of the things I enjoy the most about Carlos King's insight is that he is speaking to us as a successful producer, and that there are strategies, there are insights, and there are observations he has that we as the YouTube community or as the fellow audience does not. And I appreciate that more than I want to listen to somebody go on and 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 on. I don't love the chemistry of this cast right now, current cast. I don't love it. But I also don't, like, I don't feel like I'm deep enough in this season to have a full opinion about it yet either. You know what I mean?
It's in a way,
not my favorite.
They don't mesh, and I think it's because of how they came on the show, and again, it's what production is giving us. Okay, let's start with, what's that new girl that Candy was gonna headbutt?
Courtney.
Bryce baby mama.
Courtney, right?
I'm gonna call her Bryce baby mama, but yeah, that's her name.
Okay. All right.
I don't appreciate how rude and how condescending she was coming on the show.
Yeah, that was too hot. Too hot for something stupid. Really was. Too hot.
And of course, she came in as old, cold, and hardly anything soul's friend, right?
Oh, yes, she did. She said Courtney is like, what, around her daughter's age or something like that. I was like, you guys aren't friends.
Girl. No, she about the same age as her.
No, Courtney is younger. She doesn't necessarily look like it, but in the first episode, Sheree compares her to somebody, I think one of her kids' age. Not Cairo, but the daughter, I think, who's older.
I don't know, because she has a daughter with Bryce that's 20-something years old.
Let me look this up.
I don't think she was compared to anybody 20 anything years old. She got to be almost between 40 and 50. So I think they had twins, or I remember a picture flashing, but I just don't like the way she came in, and I don't know, it's just me, but I don't like her energy. She's, real, I'm gonna say this and put it in your face and you're gonna listen. Well, no, bitch. I mean, lady, no, ma'am. Now I wish Candy would not have gotten so heated, but like Candy said, she was dealing with that group of hers and that husband and all that mess going on. So, she said a billion apologies up until the season started to what do you call it? For us to brace ourselves for how, she's gonna be this season. I think she's gonna explode even more. But I don't like her. I don't like Bryce baby mama.
She's 48. I looked it up. So maybe, I don't know, I'm going to have to go back and review. Maybe Sheree said her kids were the same kid's age or something. Probably. Maybe I misunderstood. 48.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not Sheree's age. How old is Sheree? Sheree's in her 50s, right?
Sheree is the elder of the group.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sheree looks good, but...
That's it. That's all she got. And that's where it ends and starts with her. Oh, I hate saying that, but she's lame. She's not.
This She by Sheree debacle made her lame. It was like, you can't use a whole storyline redemption arc and not redeem yourself. You can't. Her whole last season, She by Sheree was gonna get done, and then all we hear is the Emperor has no new clothes, and Sheree still ain't paying designers, is not paying people, and is getting shit off of Shane, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sorry, but you know what? I am not gonna pay the upgrade for She by Sheree. You didn't earn the ripoff. And I can't know it's fake out the gate. No.
I can't.
I can't know it's white label, no design out the gate.
Honestly, I would love to see her turn it around and win and look like a winner. When Atlanta Housewives started to, I'm gonna say, break the second wall meaning the curtain of real and fake for those who live in Atlanta or Georgia or whatever that area is. It's about 7 or 8 different areas. So it's like, and I think we saw it clearly with Phaedra. It seemed like she was the poster child for, here I am, but it's not all there. And that's what Sheree gives me. It's like a fake sense of who she is, and that's what she's riding on versus being that.
100%. Well, that clothing timeline sure was as jacked up as Phaedra's pregnancy due date the first time around. You know what I'm saying? That was hilarious to me. Remember that? Phaedra's first season. I thought, this woman is crazy. She's playing dumb about her due date because she doesn't want people to know that she got pregnant before she got married. And I'm just like, that's the stupidest thing in modern day America to still care about.
I think she was lying to her mama because she's into the Lord and things, and how Phaedra.
Right. Well, don't go on a reality show then. Shit.
God is forever. Okay. Well, you the biggest hypocrite here, church lady, with your prayer cloth over your thighs. Well, apparently they was open enough. Shut up. Let me stop. On the air match.
I was about to say with an ex-con.
Crack house.
with an ex-con.
And I'm only laughing because she has put up this facade and this persona that she is top tier. But this how you conceive your baby? And don't say I'm talking about babies. I'm talking about the conception. Hello. I'm like, girl.
That's another storyline. I didn't talk about your baby. Yes, you did. Anyway, no,
Small mind.
I would like to see Sheree win as well, but I don't believe it. You know, I'm not saying I understand the garment or like the fashion industry well enough, but like plenty of people have figured it out. And if I went so hard as to make this clothing line my entire story after I had already become infamous for never coming through, you'd better believe I would do whatever it took. Whatever it took. I am sure there's a clothing company. I'm sure Candy tried to get her to invest in a clothing company that's going to either want a large amount of profit until they make back what they invested, or you have to put up money. I mean, pick the former, because you know, you can't be so greedy. You can't pay nothing and get it all. You just can't. There's no fashion fairy going to drop out the sky with that one.
And I think that right there, that quotes, you want it all, but you don't want to pay nothing. That's exactly what happened, I think, in that so-called 7-figure settlement. Oh, I'm going to get a 7-figure settlement. Girl, he gave you 7 tongue lashings, literally sticking his tongue out at you in court.
Who, Bob? Bob?
Yeah, it's like it's a repeat thing with her. Her mind is the same, but she's incorporating that bullshit into everything else. And I think that's why it's not working, or it's kind of failing for her.
Well, for me, it always makes Sheree a more minor character. I feel like Sheree's follies and whatnot make her kind of funny. It doesn't make her a headliner to me in the sense of like, she can't carry her own, you know? And like now, and let's pair it with that fact that her man picker is literally like the worst. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, it annoys me to no end if people stay completely ignorant to like any of who Martell Holt is. I'm sorry, you need to know. Like, you need to go do just Google his name and you will be shocked.
I'm shocked she's messing with him for the simple fact of what he did to another woman and how and
that's what I mean.
Of them, but more
what he's still doing. He's not done. What he's still doing.
Exactly. And
that revenge. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Something as women, because I know for a fact every woman I know would not go entertain any man with Martell Holt's public, and it's a public reputation. This isn't something that is just known within the community of. This is a worldwide web situation. And it just more so that Sheree is not a girl's girl. She's just not.
Well, it's to me, it's once again like, stop faking the funk. Like, I don't want to see this sad ass storyline between you and Martell, because at its best, you are effing around because he won't even call you his girlfriend. You say relationship, but you admit it's not exclusive, and it's very obvious it's not. There's at least 3 women that we can identify right now that, you know, there's some lady in Atlanta that everybody all knows about that he's dating other than Sheree. There's also Belinda and there's Ariane, and both, you know, I think, like I said, there's at least 3 potential ladies. I'm sure there's more, but like, Martell is the kind of man that you hit because it's hot and you don't tell anybody about it. You do not make them your piddly little storyline for the year on national television. He's the one, he stays in the dark. Because that's not who you parade around with, like, your arm candy. Excuse me, while you're doing that, he's getting caught for attempting to circulate revenge pee. ORN.
And then it sounded like he admitted it. With his,
He said
things of that nature.
Well, I think it was, they're quoting him on the Queen Sheba interview, and I think you watched that, right?
Yes.
That he was saying, what?
That's what I'm saying. It sounded like he admitted.
Yeah, he said she knew about it because Mel was trying to say I didn't know I was being recorded and all that stuff, and he's like, "Did you see all the things I sent you a screenshot of our conversation that she knew? She didn't give you permission to circulate it." Maybe she did know she was being recorded, but that doesn't mean she knew you were going to give it to a hairdresser to leak as a dude, to claim it was you and somebody. I mean, nobody consented to that. And because, revenge pee, putting it out there, it's not just, oh, the person didn't know. No. It's a whole, ask Rob Kardashian, Martell. Hit him up. Ask him how well that shit goes. Oop, that stuff goes.
It's mind-boggling because he actually it's more worse because it's insult to injury that he would bring this up with Ariana. It's like, and then if I just add this piece, he's still believing and caping for her to be on the show. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't recall at all anybody but Martell and, well, up until season 4 or 5, whichever one it was, no one discussed her to the point where I remember them discussing her. For her and Martell to say they've been discussing me since jump. No, they haven't. Unless I could be proven wrong. Do you recall them discussing her just up until recently?
Well, I mean, I feel like everybody's always referred to his infidelity and the fallout of all of that. But I mean, Ariane obviously became a huge part of the storyline because she broke up a family while we were all watching, right?
Sure.
And I have no doubt that Martell is selling her a load of BS that I have to make it look this way, but ultimately, I'll carry you with me. I don't know. They have there's something, but I also think that Martell is just a pathological womanizer, and the smartest one was the one that he married, and that was the one that was the hardest to control, and he's real mad about that.
Hello.
But and listen, I guess if we think about it, Apollo, Phaedra brought him on, good-looking man with a real checkered past that repeated it again on the damn show. Peter Thomas, another, distinguished-looking gentleman who is full of shadiness. So I guess, in a sense, there's a tradition of, don't look too deep into the past of the man I'm bringing around. It just doesn't look good after Tyrone. It's like, oh God, Sheree.
As fun as all the fake relationships, I think Sheree has had at least 2 fake relationships on this show. The current one.
Agreed.
And what's the one, her ex, when she brought him on thinking that they would be rekindling something. Girl, bye. We know you don't want that man.
Oh, I know. When she talked about choking her in the car and Kenya was like, oh, I was like, no. No domestic abuse.
That's pretty much how I knew that they weren't officially a couple, because ain't no man gonna talk to a woman like that he's trying to rekindle stuff with. That's somebody who's just making fun of somebody, and you don't make fun of the woman that you're trying to get with.
Yeah, no, I mean, Sheree has always Sheree, part of coming after Sheree is making fun of her glass house or making fun of whatever ruse she's trying to perpetuate. And I personally, like you were saying, I would rather see, like, I would like to see Sheree win or just be a bone carrier then, because, you know, fine. But to constantly put up a storyline that we all feel like you're faking the funk for, I'm kind of over it. I'm tired of watching your that's pathetic.
It wasn't
Like,
any love shown. It wasn't anything romantic shown. It wasn't anything, not even holding hands, talking off on the side. Nothing. I have
no,
seen
this is
nothing
it.
like that from the only physical PDA I've seen is her and Martell. And we know what that's about.
I do not believe their relationship is real. Carlos asked that girl, or not girl, excuse me, the YouTuber, shout out to her. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but asked if she thought the relationship was real, and her answer was yes, but I don't. I think that they know that it is mutually beneficial for them both to do a little crossover in the multiverse. I think this was facilitated by Carlos. Maybe they've been hitting it a little bit because Martell's a dog, but like, I think that she was all too happy to cling on to him for a plot line, and because she'll take a cheap plot line, she'll take a sham. You know, she shammed us the whole way through with the She by Sheree, and then get mad at Drew saying that, you know, because Drew was like, she took the stuff back that she brought out. I'm like, I don't even care about the details about She by Sheree. I don't want to hear you even talk about it because you're not producing cool. You're not. And whatever is for sale, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have a right to be upset about She by Sheree. You didn't blow it out of the park the way you needed to defend for it to be. You just didn't. Like, you didn't have it available. You crashed the website. I can't believe your tagline is that dumbass tagline. Like, that's your life. Like, you really gonna say I broke the internet? Yeah, but you have no stuff.
Oh, I just recalled something. Doesn't she have to give Bravo a percentage?
Yes. Well,
the Destiny clause.
Yes. I'm not sure. I think so, but She by Sheree, yeah, because She by Sheree came out on the show, and I don't think that, did New York came out before Atlanta, right? I don't know if they had that locked down by the time they did that for the Atlanta ladies. I'm like rambling and not saying it very well. The timing of their contracts could be, in theory, that Bravo doesn't get a piece of She by Sheree, but I'm sure when Sheree re-signed up, I'm gonna stop now. We can even just edit this whole part out. Yeah, she got the Bethany clause.
Okay, I got you.
I think I've heard they get up to 40% in the beginning or some shit like that. Like, it's ridiculous.
I bet you, in order for, and it's just, I just feel it in my bones. She thought wrong had signed up to do all this, give Bravo whatever cut or whoever is supposed to get the cut, just so she can have it out there, just so she can say she did it. And they may present it to her like that, but I think she is so desperate to be out there that little glimpse of hope is enough for her to do all of this the way she's doing it. I'm just disappointed because she's too old. She's supposed to be the matriarch of the group. Can't nobody look up to her for nothing. And honestly, her friends are questionable, i.e. Bryce baby mama and the other people she bought that Drew threw doggy treats at a year or two ago. It's like she's just always on the wrong team. And it's always because she's trying to come up and it's not anything genuine. She's pulling.
It's mediocrity too. She's happy with mediocrity.
Yes. Yes.
She's content with mediocrity. She's shown that, because it's like Tyrone was mediocrity, Martell is mediocrity. Like these men, well, and the quality of relationship both of them are willing to present on the show is mediocre. Look at Tyrone wouldn't show up to film until he showed up in a Bill Cosby sweater at the fashion show
with his slow bop.
Yeah.
I'm just mind boggled that someone in her big ass age is doing something, is dating men like this. With all that old and cold, yada yada yada. You can't, ain't nobody better than these knocking on your door and nothing. It's kind of hard to believe. To me, it's that she got all this going on, all on the show, and this is who she's choosing. It's something's wrong. Something's wrong.
If it were me, I would go to a successful. I would look for help, because it is obvious that she cannot manage this on her own. I would look for a business manager or something. Like if I were to put my entire life, my mental stability, like everything I've got on the Housewives, you better believe that I was either going to walk in with a plan of which businesses I wanted to promote, or I would be looking for the resources to quickly attach myself to. I mean, it's really not. I know the backside of the workings of all of it is it's really not that hard. Everybody, if Robin Dixon can come out with hats, and Karen Huger can come out with candles, and you know what I mean? Like, you can find a manufacturer that will do a run with you that you can set. Like, there's just no way I wouldn't be be promoting additional sources of revenue. I'm sorry. I don't care how much Bravo gets. Like, eventually, you know what I mean? Like, it grandfather's out, I believe. I don't think they get the business percentage in perpetuity, or if they do, it diminishes after an amount of time. You know, some things obviously won't make sense, but like, I don't understand why you would expose your life at the level that you do and not get it together in some way. There's just no.
She about 55 years old. She has spent most of her life pussyfooting around and backpedaling. Yeah. Now, girl, what you gonna do these next 40 years? And you ain't even got 40 yet left.
Maybe she does, but you know.
Girl, bye.
No, I mean, I like like I said, the energy of the cast is off. Yeah. I don't, you know, and like that's the part I'm not enjoying the most. I do think that there's kind of like a mean girl element starting to happen, because the cast seems like it's kind of starting to get divided into two camps, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're hating Marlo big time.
And they talked about Marlo too on the Carlos King episode. I need Marlo to get more therapy than Marlo. I'm like, because it's like they brought up about how Marlo gets really hurt feelings when she feels rejected by Candy or Kenya. Mm-hmm. And then she gets real ugly in her responses. And I'm like, that's all we're getting from her lately, you know?
Yeah, she's definitely lashing out, and it's not cute. It's really not.
Yeah. No. And that's the problem. It's like, Marlo, I understand that. I don't know. Like, I enjoyed Marlo better when she had an ally friend, like her and Nene or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I respect the amount of work that Marlo has put to be a part of the show, but I also feel a little bit of desperate scrambling for her to keep that place. And I think what we're seeing too is this emotionality of, why aren't any of you helping me keep my spot? Like, I've been doing this for so long and you guys are like not supporting me. You're just leaving me out to dry kind of thing. But it's like, because Marlo, you are like unstable emotionally. Like being friends with you could come with a major issue.
I want Marlo to stop insulting people. Stop being so irate. And I'm sick and tired of people, including her and everybody else who says this. I must have blacked out. I was drinking. I was drunk. I don't remember. Please, 99.9% of what we do when we're drunk, we remember. You wasn't belligerent drunk. We understood her. She just seemed irate and mad. For her to do all that and immediately have that conversation and then say, I don't remember, I was drunk, that's a lie and the truth ain't in her. I'm sick and tired of people saying that, not just on this show. You are not that drunk. Sorry, not sorry. But it's not cute to keep insulting people and being very irrational and immature and just effing ridiculous.
Thank you for tuning in, and go ahead and tell a friend. Go ahead and hit that subscribe so you don't forget when I go live. Please leave a comment, let have and go in. You can even chit chat with your friends.